possible for a country to be torn from day one of its establishment? Nigeria makes a strong argument that that is in fact possible. Nigeria, officially known as the Federal Republic of Nigeria, is a country located in Western Africa. Since its establishment, conflict has plagued the country, economically, socially, and culturally. Civil wars caused by divisions within the main tribes of Nigeria wreaked havoc on the country in the 1960s. The tribes, however, were able to settle their differences and come together once again in an attempt to foster a healthier cultural environment. Sadly, this attempt failed. After a number of years, the country was separated once again. This time, it was split almost exactly in half. With a population of 167 million people, Nigeria is split down the middle, with nearly 50% of its residents practicing Islam, while the other 50% practice Christianity. Northern Nigeria is heavily populated by the Muslim people. They generally look to the Middle East and the wider Muslim world for solidarity and socio-political example. The South, however, is largely Christian. They focus their major socio-political influences on those of Western and traditional African ideals. These two religious groups have begun to create a number of problems within the borders of Nigeria. With the government torn between Christian and Muslim ideals, the country and its people have suffered. Disputes over national resources such as oil have led to lost opportunities to capitalize on the products. This mismanagement contributes to Nigeria's national state of poverty. The wealth that does lie within the Nigerian borders is not equally distributed. Instead, 4 states within Nigeria, which just so happen to be located in the southern region, make up for over 70% of the nation's wealth. This fact only fuels the fire between the opposing groups because the Muslims feel that they're disadvantaged. With the lack of religious unification, the two groups have turned to violence to resolve their differences. Each religious group has begun to take drastic measures to try to revive the country of its socio-economic and political problems. These drastic measures come in the form of extremist and rebel groups. The most predominant of these rebel groups is the Boko Haram. The Boko Haram is an Islamic-led extremist group whose mentality is, anyone who is not governed by what Allah has revealed is among the culprits of the struggles of Nigeria. In the idea of those who not lead themselves in the ways of Allah, they are specifically referring to those who spread Western ideals. With this mindset, the Boko Haram has blurred the lines between the Muslim versus Christians and have chosen to take down anyone who stands in their way, no matter their religion. Looking for a way to gain as much control over the largest amount of area as possible, the Boko Haram has chosen to start their attacks in the northern region of Nigeria. Yes, a strange choice seeing as though most of the northern population is Muslim, just like the Boko Haram. That, however, is not why they target that particular area. Instead, it falls back on the idea that there is a lack of wealth in the northern regions of Nigeria. Therefore, less wealth results in smaller villages who, quite frankly, are not armed with enough protection to fight off the rebel group. So, the Boko Haram is starting off with those who will put up less of a fight and hope that the army will grow as they conquer more Muslims and they join them in their effort to cleanse Nigeria of its Western ways. With the Boko Haram's brutal yet swift approach, rumors have begun to swirl among onlooking nations. They've been rumored to have connections to terrorist groups such as Al-Qaeda. With fear of these links, the U.S. designated the Boko Haram as a terrorist organization in 2010. As the newly renounced terrorist group has become more and more successful with their attacks, they have outgrown their original trademarks of armed motorbikers killing off police and politicians. Now they have been upgraded to more state-of-the-art equipment, such as armed vehicles and machine guns pointing at anyone who believes in the Western ideals. All of the Western ideals are attacked, but the Boko Haram has stepped up its campaign against the Western education in the more recent months. They feel that Western education is tainting the minds of Muslims, with a main emphasis on the minds of the young Muslim girls. The Boko Haram has brought Nigeria to the forefront of media coverage, with the most recent of their attacks on Western ideals involving the kidnapping of over 200 schoolgirls. Social media has stepped up to lead the charge in an attempt to stop the Boko Haram's violence once and for all. With the campaign known as #BringBackOurGirls trending on Twitter and reaching every corner of the globe, people have started to take a stand. People young and old, famous or not, are showing their support for not only the 200 schoolgirls, but for all the people of Nigeria. With Nigeria's internal struggles plastered on every newsstand in the world, other countries are starting to open their eyes and offer their helping hands. The United States Secretary of State, John Kerry, recently announced that the U.S. will be sending a team of law enforcement and military experts to help find and free the schoolgirls and to protect other innocent civilians. The U.S. has delayed action due to Nigeria's own set of strategies to overcome the Boko Haram. These strategies, however, have now since been replaced with the idea that the problem is going to need a greater effort. Looking at how deep Nigeria's problems lie, there is no easy way to go about mending this torn nation. A start to do so, however, would have to begin with a focus on the dismantlement of the Boko Haram. In order to stop the Boko Haram, there needs to be a restructuring of two separate entities: regional poverty levels and the education system. The Boko Haram are able to storm through northern states of Nigeria with ease due to the lack of established communities within these states. The poverty of the north is in complete contrast to the more developed southern states. The Boko Haram realizes that they do not have enough power to take down the southern states due to the resources that they have to fight against them. So, if Nigeria breaks up the wealth distribution, then some of the current poverty-stricken states will be able to obtain necessary resources to protect themselves. Simple idea, however, it's hard to implement without enraging the wealthier states. Therefore, an easier option would be for the government or outside countries to supply the poorest states of Nigeria with protective forces. Poverty-stricken areas would no longer be the Boko Haram's easiest target to suppress. And we cannot let the fact that the educational system is being put under fire just be swept under the rug. To help decrease the violence, there must be a compromise. The education system needs to be restructured to gain the support of the local Muslim people. Whether that be blending both the Western and Muslim ideals or excluding both and teaching neutral ideals. Teaching the children of Nigeria while acknowledging both Christian views and Muslim views will keep both groups happy. Both groups will be exposed to the other's ideals to try to foster and create an environment of common ground. This common ground will create a smaller support system for the Boko Haram and bring the once feuding duo to an agreement. Nigeria has seen nothing but blood and war in its many years, but with a few simple changes, the country can fight off the Boko Haram and continue working towards a future full of hope and prosperity.